Welcome back, everybody, to Games Done Hitless. This is our final run of the day, but it's been the one that you have been waiting for. We are super excited for this Saxophone Elden Ring experience that we are about to say. But once again, I just want to let you all know that we are raising money for the American Heart Association. They are working towards health equality by providing education and healthcare to professionals and the public, and applying new knowledge to treat heart disease and stroke, as well as teaching individuals about prevention and focusing on the health impacts through conditions in which people live, work, play, and pray. They are fighting against the systems and laws and customs that perpetuating inequalities, and they're an amazing organization, and all of your money goes directly to them if you donate. All right, it's time. V-Swed, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, Jiggy, and I have something cooking for you guys tonight. I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Grandfamorian. Can you say hi and introduce yourself? Tell us a little about yourself, maybe?
Hello. Welcome in, everybody. I am a Bloodborne verifier for Team Hitless. I also play Elden Ring a little bit here and there. Doc graciously asked me to commentate for him, and I obliged.
And
welcome to be here.
Yeah, we are also graced by the one, the only, the sax man himself, Mr. Dr. Doot, PhD. Doctor, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your run. How did Saxophone, where did it start? Like, well, how did you just wake up one day and like, I'm playing Elden Ring with the saxophone?
That's
like,
actually that's a really good question, Swed.
Where did that come from?
Where did it come from? So I guess I should like introduce the instrument, the real star of the show here. This right here is called an aerophone. It's basically an electric saxophone that I programmed to work as a game controller, where every note that I play on the instrument corresponds to a button press on the gamepad. There is what I affectionately call the nubbin on the back of the instrument here. It's a little, for musicians in the chat, this is a mod wheel, basically a pitch bend mod wheel, that I've programmed to work as my left stick to let me move my character around in the game without having to play any notes. But everything else in the game, including moving the camera, is controlled one doot at a time. And so I started using this as a game controller as a joke. The first thing I actually tried playing was actually Cuphead. Using this, and then tried playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time using this as a game controller. And then the biggest reach from there was, I was like, you know what? The big joke is like everyone plays the Dark Souls series on ridiculous controllers, dance pads, Guitar Hero controllers, that sort of thing. Can I use this to play Dark Souls 3? And I was primarily concerned about like, how am I going to be able to like move the camera, that sort of thing. But I figured out a solution for it, and I did a playthrough of Dark Souls 3, and then did Dark Souls 1. Started doing like SL1. Started dipping my toes into Deathless, and then I tried Deathless Elden Ring and realized that my first time I got Deathless Elden Ring, it was actually a PB7 no-hit run. And I was like, well, I'm already there. I might as well go for it. So, and it's been awesome. History since. So,
that's great.
That's how it goes.
Wow, that's super cool. So I have seen you do this run in particular. I mean, you know what? Let's quickly start the run. Do you want to give a countdown, and we can just? Well, I'll explain what's happening once we get going. Do you want to get going?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the incentives?
Yeah. So chat, right now we are sitting at $10,173, which means we're actually already at the first incentive. And the first incentive that we're going to do, chat, is we're going to make it so that the next two bosses that Duke kills has to be done with a certain setting on his instrument. So the first one is a recorder. So you wanna give us a taste of the recorder real quick? See what it sounds like. Do we get a?
There you go.
There you go. Okay, dudes. So for every $50, chat, every $50, we are going to have a new incentive, a new sound unlocked. So if you guys want to hear some fun noises, you know, that's how you get those donations in.
And also, just a couple of notes here for people. No pun intended. A couple of notes here for people who are unfamiliar. One of the things that I have to deal with playing on an instrument like this is that this is what's called a monophonic instrument. Basically, just means one sound at a time. Unlike like a piano, which is a polyphonic instrument, where you can like press multiple buttons simultaneously, kind of like on a gamepad. Elden Ring and a lot of games often require you to press multiple buttons simultaneously, and that is physically impossible to do on the Aerophone. So instead, what I have is I have a couple of toggles, a couple of notes that I play that will toggle on and off certain buttons. So in particular, so I can like run and turn the camera at the same time. I'll be using them all quite liberally throughout the entire run, and then from there, I can also change the sound of the Aerophone as I'm playing, which is what the incentives will do. So you'll hear recorder, and then we've got a couple of other sounds lined up as we go through the evening. So
$27 to the next one, chat. The next one's going to be a tenor, sax. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the next one. That is someone else's. I cannot even begin to say the next one. Go on.
I was about to say, if you want to start the countdown, I'll start the countdown when I initially set up for this boss fight. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect. Whenever you're ready.
I should also mention to everybody, it was prior approved to let me start the run post setup.
Yeah, and I was going to explain this once you started for you, but you can explain it if you want real quick.
Normally in a no-hit run of Elden Ring, you run around the open world for like an hour and a half picking up a bunch of items. And we figured that would be kind of boring to do for GDQ because, it just takes forever. So we are starting at after setup is completely done, and we're at Volcano Manor. We're going to be fighting Godskid Noble first thing. For all you nerds in chat who want to see my stats, there you go. Level 25 currently, leveled basically only strength. And I've got a number of the sort of standard no-hit items and spells and doohickeys.
Most of these things are pretty easy to grab on the setup split, is what we like to call it in Elden Ring or Hitless runs, when we kind of like run around the map and pick stuff up. So everything he has right now isn't out of the question. It's not like, oh, he's got super strong stuff. It's all pretty run-of-the-mill, basic. You would normally see this on a run stuff.
Very standard.
And
very, very standard.
The other big thing is that with this fight, this is an unupgraded Uchi-Katana. That is the weapon I will be using on this fight. Unupgraded Uchi-Katana.
Interesting choice, might I add.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we got. So y'all ready? You're all ready to do it?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be, I think. Okay, Are you ready?
I am ready. I'll do a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time. So right now, right off the bat, you might be wondering two things, chat. The first thing is, why is he a Ninja Turtle? The second thing, why is he attacking a wall right now? And Gran, why is Dr. Doot attacking a wall right now?
So he's using the Ash of War Bloody Slash in order to set up Red Feather Branch Sword. It's sort of the equivalent of Red Tearstone Ring from Dark Souls. You get, I think it's 20% damage increase in this game.
It is 20, yes. It's 20 in all of them except Dark Souls 1, where it was...
Best Souls 1, I mean?
Yeah. It's something, isn't it? So here we go. We're going to head into Noble. And he's going to throw a Sleep Pot. Sleep's a very strong status in Elden Ring. It doesn't work against too many bosses, but the ones that it does work against, you're going to see just how strong it is. What it does is it causes a stagger as well as a sleep animation. And the sleep animation will last as long as, I think it's 60 seconds or until the next time they take physical damage. I think it's 60 seconds, right?
It's 60 seconds, yes.
60 seconds.
And luckily, Noble did not throw a Black Flame Fireball. So he was able to just run right in. Gets a stagger, throws a Sleep Pot.
Beautiful space there. Not to conserve his stamina count here, guys, is really important. So not rolling there allows him to get 8 hits in, and that allows this. Ooh, he doesn't get the stagger. I don't know if that was.
That was an interesting decision. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we run it back.
We're gonna run it back. That's exactly what I was worried about for this fight.
is a very hard script to pull off.
So,
especially cold without the setup, the hour and a half that you would have going into this.
It goes back to what he said too. It's about the two inputs at the same time. I think
it is literally that. So
it is that. I saw that. I did see what happened.
What I'm supposed to do. What's supposed to happen there is that I do unsheath to break his poise one more time before he wakes back up, and my aerophone just didn't pick it up.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got the R2, but you didn't get the L2.
Exactly. Yeah, I saw it happen because that's why I was like, oh, and then so that's just literally a hardware. Like that's what makes playing Elden Ring on a saxophone difficult, guys. Okay, that's literally what, like he was 100% doing the correct thing, right there, and then that's just a technical.
No fault of Doc's.
Zero fault there. Just complete RNG. Nothing of his fault.
Here we go. Set up for Red Feather again.
Yes.
We did, in fact, unlock the tenor sax, by the way. So congratulations
the tenor
to that.
Sax.
Okay,
tenor
so
sax
I can set up the tenor sax for, we'll do the first 2 fights with the recorder.
Yep.
And then we'll do the next 2 fights after that with the tenor sax.
I will give you a reminder, too, so you don't have to worry.
Thank you very much.
All right. Very precise spot here on the floor so that he's going to throw his sleep pot. It's a very great strat.
You can get 3 benches in, and then Noble will spawn, so he gets right up against it and then starts his buffing routine.
You always want to make sure, chat, that you guys use your buffs from longest lasting to shortest lasting so that they stack on top of each other for the longest amount of time. It's very important. You get the sleep animation. You see how he waited until the actual animation changed from him throwing a fireball to entering the sleep animation. If he'd attacked any sooner, he would have skipped the actual animation of sleeping.
Yep.
I know that
and
probably
Noble
didn't
would
make any
attack.
sense, but
the attack would come immediately and Doc would be dead. But things seem to be going correctly this time.
There's the unsheath.
There's the break.
And that's what was supposed to happen the first time. The bleed proc happens. He's going to throw another sleep pot here on the wake up. Perfect. And this is exactly what is supposed to happen. This is normal now.
And you want to get to the side like Doc just did in order to not get a repulse.
Yeah, that's true. Very nice. Boom. There's the bleed proc. And that is GG.
That's better.
That's better.
Yeah,
like to
that's
see.
a bit.
That's good. Okay, so I have to ask because, like, we talked about this before the run a bit. So you're killing Rykard, right?
I am.
Is that next?
Yes.
Okay. I'm on board with it. So the reason I'm assuming we're going to Rykard is for the weapon. But you don't actually need to take out Rykard to get his weapon. So I'm kind of like wondering why you choose Rykard. So what's the reason for that?
So there's a number of reasons. One, he gives you a ton of runes at the very beginning of the game, if you can do it.
Right.
2, getting the Serpent Hunter. Just to explain for just a second, getting the Serpent Hunter makes a lot of the next few fights significantly easier to do, particularly on the Aerophone. The sort of meta run that people use, the meta weapon that people use for an 90% run generally is the Iron Balls. But the Iron Ball hitboxes can be really, really funky. And it's something that you can kind of mitigate on a normal controller by playing locked off. But the Aerophone, I have a really hard time controlling camera during boss fights. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Really helpful. So,
gotcha.
Serpent Hunter has a lot of range, so
right, has a big swinging wide arc, so that makes a lot of sense. Whereas the Iron Balls, chat, if you're locked on, you're not gonna be able to dead angle and hit like limbs that you could if you were unlocked. So yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
And since he's killed Noble, he can actually upgrade the Serpent Hunter to almost full. He can get a +9 and have it be incredibly strong for early game.
Gotta love somber weapons. They're just so easy to upgrade.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting that they took the route for so many upgrade materials. Like that's just so many. 12 per level is just so many.
It was one of my least favorite things about Elden Ring when when it came out, I wasn't too happy about the upgrade pathing.
No, I wasn't either. Here, I think he's going to use a sleep shot here. Very good, very good. And I think he used Mighty Shot for that because Mighty Shot actually increases the amount of sleep or status that an arrow does. It's pretty interesting stuff.
I really like this strat with the arrows. He's not wasting sleep pots. He had bought the sleep arrows from a merchant, so he saved himself gathering materials for that.
Yep. There's a cool strat here with this guy. Then it makes sense he wants to take care of as many enemies as he can using this controller because it's a saxophone.
Interesting note. Doc does not have Assassin's Gambit at this point.
Oh, so stealth's an issue.
That's part of the reason why he's using sleep arrows to go through this and killing certain enemies, because he does not have the stealth that you would see in a lot of runs.
We're getting more and more donations and unlocking more and more sounds. And I'm going to need your help to pronounce this next one because I have no idea what it is.
The shamisen, I believe?
Taiko drum.
I don't know what that is, but we have that.
We just unlocked it.
We just unlocked that. I don't know what that is, but we did it.
It's essentially a traditional Japanese acoustic, like, lute or guitar.
Okay,
you could kind of think about it. And then the taiko drums are what they're kind of drum. They sound nice. Another traditional Japanese instrument.
And the one after that, chat, at the 10,300 mark, we're gonna get Brian TTS voice. I'm just saying, like, if we don't get $50 right now for Brian TTS voice dudes, what are we even doing with our lives on the
ready
internet?
for Brian.
Like, I'm just saying.
Who doesn't love Brian?
That's a freebie right there. That's a layup, chat. Someone's got to slam dunk that one. Heading into Rykard here to pick up the weapon, and he's just going to actually teleport out. The game doesn't count this as entering into the fight until you get a little closer. So you can actually just take the weapon and leave. A lot of people don't realize that.
It's very important to grab the grace in front of it, too.
I would never have forgotten the grace ever. That's never happened.
No, Sled's never done that before.
Never forgot. Make sure I grabbed it.
Yeah.
While we're traveling to the next boss, would now be a good time for some donations?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All right. So we got a $5 donation from Geekcan Third. Thank you very much for your donation. A $42 donation from Darth Tuttle. Thank you very much. A $25 donation from Weck Weck. Thank you very much. A $10 donation from Lordy Hauer. Thank you very much. A $17 donation from Severe Che. And then a $50 donation from Paper Cola Kenneth. Thank you so much.
And that was for the Brian TTS voice getting unlocked. So that was the layup. Good job, chat. Knew you had it in you. The next thing is at 350, and it is, I'm not sure what this is. It's just called button mappings. Maybe and once
so
yeah, take your time if you want. You can get to the next spot. You can do it now. It's up to you. Yeah.
So while we're running through this, let's kind of explain why Doc's going through this again.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, he grabbed the Serpent Hunter, which you can upgrade to a really high level, but you need to get a Somber 7. And so he has come through here again to grab the earliest possible Somber 7.
Again, if you guys have never played Elden Ring before, you just need one of each Somber level. So you need a Somber 1, a Somber 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's throughout the whole game. This 7s tend to be a little rough to come by in runs, I guess. That's what they're kind of notorious for. They have been, but this is one of the easier ones to pick up.
Yeah, if he didn't grab this one, then he would probably be at +6 for a good portion of the run.
Yeah, up to like Lendell, you know?
Yeah.
It's not ideal. A lot of runs will definitely neglect coming all the way to Volcano Manor just for the 7, but for something with a saxophone, you want as much for you can get out of it, of course.
Yeah, for speed, people will just not come here and grab the 7, and they'll
More
do
importantly, he's
+6.
More importantly than the 7, there's RKR, which is the most broken Ash of War in Elden Ring. If you
I'm actually not even going to be using it for this round. I just grab it just to sell.
Yeah, out of habit.
Well, ignore me then. I guess you're using the Serpent Hunter. That makes sense. But yeah, chat, that Ash of War right there. If you got, I mean, we're not using it today because our weapon's a somber weapon and you can't apply Ashes of Wars on somber.
Ooh, unfortunate.
Where'd this guy come? I've never seen that guy jump before.
I have never been hit by those guys. That's literally the first time I've been hit by those guys. That's wild.
A lot of people will.
The first time ever.
A lot of people will throw sleep pots to sleep those guys.
Really? I mean, I've ran there a lot myself and I've never seen that, but that's interesting.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Oh man. Oh boy. What do I need to do now? Oh boy.
Yeah, so really Doc doesn't have enough materials in terms of arrows to get through the section safely.
Could you just ER tool?
I don't want to cheat.
Well, it's not cheating. It's just like a backup. It's just like a. It's as if that didn't. It's as if that grab didn't happen. You know. There's sleep arrows in the back of After Margit. I don't know if those were the ones you've already picked up.
No, I bought these from a merchant in Limgrave.
Okay.
There is, I believe, another merchant in.
Behind
Raya Lucaria?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. Behind where the dogs are.
That's really bad, actually.
You got him. One more there. That'll work. Yeah. This is good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy. Big recovery, guys. Look at this.
Yeah, this is a...
this is improvising.
Very intense. Right, yeah.
That's a good throw.
Very good throw.
That was a good throw.
Perfect. Kobe.
I can work with that.
We can work with that.
Yeah. As I said earlier, Doc used the arrows really to save material, so he didn't have to grab more. There's plenty of other lilies to grab, and mushrooms are everywhere. So,
I would also like to remind everyone watching right now that this guy's done this whole run already too. Like, that's like ridiculous. Like, he's actually done this whole thing before. This is, again, just a showcase to show what's like possible. He's done this before. He's doing Dark Souls 3 right now. That is ridiculous. Like, I can't stress you enough. Like, that is unbelievable. So talented.
Incredibly talented.
This guy's got a magic ranged attack, so that's why Doctor's going to take him out with some range before coming back down here for the souls, or the runes. Sorry, not the souls. Always want to be very careful on these as well. It's pretty chill if you just walk off them. You don't have to jump. You don't have to sprint. You don't have to roll. Just gotta go in a straight line. Pretty much good.
And here we drop again.
That was like a 1 in a million. There's no way he gets...
Yeah, surely it won't happen again.
Just in case.
It was pretty interesting. Yeah, for sure.
That's fair.
Grab this, so just in case.
But this leads back to the main foyer of Volcano Manor, where Doc had grabbed the Grace before.
I have a whole new respect for these enemies. I can't believe that guy got you. Like, I'm genuinely surprised because, like, I've ran this a lot back in the day, and that's never happened to me.
Like I said,
very unfortunate.
I've literally never been hit by that guy.
Yeah, and like I know that's like the classic meme, but that literally never happened before, chat.
You could kind of see he was just on the edge of the hitbox because the model like moved to where Doc was.
Wild. Well, got there eventually.
Made it work.
Yeah. So now we go to EG in order to upgrade the Serpent Hunter to a +9.
Chat, post your favorite blacksmith in the chat in any game. Go. I'm gonna go with I mean, honestly, EG is probably my favorite. He's pretty chill.
He's up there.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
I've only ever beaten Dark Souls 1, so the man across from the snake house. I like that one.
Andre.
Man across from Snake House.
That's how I'm going to refer to him.
Man across from Snake House.
These
Snake
the
House
rest
is
of
the
the
best
time.
name for Sentence Fortress I've ever heard. That's perfect. Snake House.
This was my entire time during Oops You Died weekend. It was that everyone making fun of me because I didn't know what names were.
Okay, so we got our Serpent Hunter all the way up now. I think that was to 9, was it not?
It was to 9. I believe there was also a level up there.
I noticed earlier, Grant, you said the Freudian slip. I heard you say Assassin's Gambit when he was using this. Are you an Assassin's Gambit user?
I am an Assassin's Gambit user, and I always put it on, a rapier or a katana.
Yeah.
So
I caught that earlier. That's funny.
I was really hoping you wouldn't mention it, but okay.
I love Rykard, personally.
I am also a fan of Rykard.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people that don't like him. But if you guys don't know,
it's valid. There's criticisms.
Yeah, I guess I could see why. Phase 1's got a pretty bad attack in it. So chat, watch this. This is going to be pretty cool. He's lining up just at the cusp of where the fight would actually trigger, and he's going to throw a couple sleep pots, and he's going to get a stagger animation out of that. And that's going to let him get some damage in. And he's got in his, I see something happening. I know what's about to happen. I'm not going to spoil it for chat.
I'm just going to let it
I'm just going to let it happen, and then I'll explain later. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not a glitch, by the way. This is just an oversight.
Yep.
In my opinion. Yep. Yep.
I mean, you said it correctly. Yep.
I think
just
it's
an oversight.
I don't think
Which is a classic FromSoft.
It's not a glitch. He's just crouch poking while dual wielding. That's all. Like, he's using a mechanic the game gave him. That's literally all that's happening. And it's just doing that much damage. Like, it's just...
And there we go. There's Rykard.
Okay, so what happened there? Obviously, other than getting Rykard obliterated, you can explain if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, in Elden Ring, they added one of the best mechanics from Dark Souls 2, which is power stancing.
Yes.
And when you power stance 2 great spears, it, in the Rykard fight, gives you a much better moveset and ridiculous amounts of damage, especially when you upgrade the Serpent Hunter. So when you crouch poke, you get an even faster, DPS, which poise breaks Rykard immediately, or, before he gets up from the sleep, and you do the exact same thing in phase 2.
Yeah, the sleep stagger is what really gets all that poise going for you.
Yep.
Just a quick reminder to you, Doctor. I don't know if you did, but switch to the next. I think that was 2 bosses, right?
It was 2 bosses. And
it was 2 bosses.
The next boss will be Margit. And I'll switch the tenor saxophone for that.
Cool. Sounds good. I was just giving you a reminder. And a reminder to chat, we are $50 away to button mappings. What is button mappings,
button mappings
Doctor?
is, I had the idea of, what I was like, what if I had a sound that was literally somebody saying the buttons that I was pressing? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like every note that I play is assigned to a button press.
That's great.
What sound, like, it would be somebody saying that, so...
Okay. So we need $50 to add that to the list of things we've unlocked. So far, again, chat, we've unlocked recorder, tenor sax, shamisen, taiko drum comp. Did I say that right? I'm going to let you say it.
That was pretty good.
That was and then right now we have also unlocked Brian TTS voice, which I'm personally looking forward to quite a bit. Go ahead.
I was just going to point out that Doc did grab Assassin's Gambit and No Skill from Bernal, which he did after killing Rykard.
Assassin's Gambit is probably the most the best for utility Ash of War in the game. Basically grants the player a status where you don't make any sound while you sprint, and you also lower your radius of aggro, so enemies have a harder time seeing and detecting you. It's a really strong.
Yeah, it's essentially a combination of hidden body and spook is a good way to.
There you go. Yeah, for all you Dark Souls enjoyers, hidden body plus spook. While we're teleporting back, this could be an okay time for some donations if there's any.
Yes, we have a few here. We have a $50 donation from Darth Tuttle, a $5 donation from Lord Lee Hauer, and we have a $50 donation from Rise Butch Nan. Thank you so much for your incredible donations. Keep them coming on in. We're at $10,355 and 1 penny. And 1 penny.
You guys are crushing it.
Yeah.
So back at Stormville, our Stormhill side of Grace, we're heading up to Margit, the first big quote-unquote boss of the game. But Doctor is, let's just say, a little prepared.
Yeah,
for
Doc
Margit.
has the script. The scripting.
So, what is a script exactly? Could you explain what the script is?
The script is use the item that Doc currently has on his item bar, and then I don't know if I should spoil it. What happens? I don't know if I should spoil it.
I guess we could just let it happen again, like kind of like with Rykard, and then explain. Sure. Okay. Because Elden Ring's a really balanced game, you guys.
Let's just say keep your eyes open.
All right, switching over to the tenor saxophone.
Tenor sax, let's go.
We did, in fact, unlock button mapping, by the way. So our next one is going to be Katamari. So, very excited about Katamari.
Damacy?
Damacy, yeah. Katamari Damacy.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Doing some talisman swaps and everything here. Oh, look. Damage.
And he's dead. Wow.
They might be wondering, chat, what you just saw.
And it was 2 charge R2s.
2 fully charged R2s. Now you might be also wondering, why don't my charged R2s kill Margit in 2 hits, V-Sweat and Grand? And Grand, would you like to explain why 2 charged R2s just killed Margit?
So Margit is a very early game boss, considerably. And coming back with a +9 somber weapon, which most people would have very late game. Yep. And the levels that he does, all of the talismans that are and buffs that stack together to create a bunch of damage. Going in using Margit's Shackle to hold him down, it's a completely quote-unquote free.
It's just math and like buffs all like stacked on top of each other, just on top, and it's just the numbers are just outrageous you can get. But yeah, so he opened the front of the Stormville Castle by talking to Gostock, and now by crouching with Assassin's Gambit during nighttime. This is the power of stealth in Elden Ring. You can see not only, I don't know if you guys knew this, if you make it nighttime in Elden Ring, enemies will actually have a harder time seeing you. It'll you'll be able to stay hidden from further distances. Combine that with crouching, combine that with using Assassin's Gambit. All these things add layers of stealth that stack on top of each other, which is kind of interesting that the game works that way. Like you can literally get more stealthier with the more stealth items.
I think it's 4 different stacks of stealthing because it's nighttime. He's crouched, Assassin's Gambit. And then I'm missing. Okay, so 3. I can count. I actually do have a math degree, and so like
There's also Concealing Veil and what's the spell called? It's like
Unseen Form.
Unseen Form. Yeah, those also stack, which is interesting. Picked up a Trino Lily there. Trino Lilies are non-respawnable consumable items that you can find in the overworld. A lot of the overworld items do respawn, like mushrooms. Like you can farm mushrooms, for example. You can't farm Trino Lilies on. It's a once per playthrough kind of thing. Right here, he's going to throw a Kukri. Kukris are found early game around the map. There's also a merchant you can purchase them from infinitely. So he's just throwing them in very particular spots, and that's actually distracting all of these enemies to the sound it made when it hit the wall. And you can really abuse this mechanic in Elden Ring with Kukris. Kukris are really, really strong items with what you can do with them.
Assassin's Gambit is not a necessary part to hitless this game.
No.
But if you decide not to use it, Kukris will become your best friend.
That's a great point. Use them both and you're going to get your run really quick because you can literally skip almost every encounter that isn't
It makes things very consistent for running sections.
Extremely consistent. Very nice section done. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Doc with the 5-second time save.
I mean, we are on GDQ.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I know it's games done hitless, but we are games done hitless kind of quickly. That's like, you know.
Kinda, yeah.
And once again, thank you so much for everybody that is watching and enjoying Games Done Hitless. We are raising money for the American Heart Association, so keep your donations coming in. We are at $10,400, so keep it coming.
We just hit the new one.
We just
got the Katamari, and now we have the final incentive as well.
Final incentive.
Which I'll let you take off if you want to say it.
The final incentive.
What is our final one?
The final. You want me to take this over?
The final incentive?
I mean, sure. Yeah. So the final incentive, if we hit $10,532, the sound will be flatulence, aka farts. I'm
farts,
leaving now.
Chat.
Bye.
Farts.
Thank you. No.
There it is. Thank you for doing that one for me. And who doesn't love a good fart noise, guys? Come on. That's another layup. I would also take also if we hit 10,532, which is also the flatulence, that would also beat the first ever GDQ event total, which would be pretty cool if we could match or beat that one. Also just setting up here, heading into the second remembrance boss. Godric. Yes.
Correct. And I believe that Doc uses the sleep pot on the opener in order to make this as safe as possible. So we'll see that in action. Basically, Godric has one of 2 opening attacks that he will always do. And once you do them at the correct timing, you could throw a sleep pot, get him to do the windmill attack, which is very punishable if it does go off, and then ideally he should sleep, and then we'll see the fight continue. Yeah.
Wow. Is this a one cycle? No? Okay.
If he had the stamina, perhaps.
Yeah. I mean, there's no need to even, because, yeah.
Not really necessary.
That's Godric. I like Godric. Don't get to see too much of him here, but he's
I like
cool.
Godric too. Yeah. He does have quite a few memes though, that can ruin your run, especially if you do let phase 2 happen. Specifically his fire memes. Yeah.
Even
Elden Ring has an issue with fire.
Even that little jump there was a little bit of a meme. Normally he does a whirlwind attack there.
When he jumped forward and you had to roll it?
Yep, that's why I rolled that there.
Mm-hmm. So now Doc is going to run to the Divine Tower in Limgrave in order to activate Godric's Great Rune.
This is evil that they put the best item in the game like down this long straight line that you can't use Torrent on. So mean.
I think it's unfortunate that you can't use Torrent on any of these bridges.
I think it was like I think it was a little bit of an oversight with Godric's Great Rune, like being 5 levels to every stat. Do you think? I think that's a little too much.
Yeah, I agree. And while I do love using it for my runs, it is so quite strong.
It's unreal. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, Godric's Great Rune gives you 5 stats.
Yeah,
or 5 levels in every attribute.
Yeah.
Which equates to around 40 levels.
40 free levels, which is just, you know, compared to the net. Like what other great runes even do what? There's like the one that gives you HP back. There's one that raises your HP bar to like even more than normal.
Yeah, and then there's one that's like HP, endurance, and equip load or something. I think
one might be okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because if you build around it, like your weight would be off if you die. Yeah.
Then there's Mogs. That's all about PvP and co-op, I think.
Something like miserable like that. It's just by far the best great rune, and it just pairs with Hitless so well because it's it's
100%.
So he just made it here, and he goes up the elevator, and then he'll get it, and then it's off to.
It would be off to Radon? Draconic, right?
Draconic or Radon?
It would totally be Draconic, right? Oh wait, no, Doc's doing Radon.
A 3rd remembrance boss, which when I was told there's doing 3 remembrances, I was like, what is this, an all remembrance run? Like, I was so confused. So like, why are we doing 3 remembrances, Doc?
Why not?
Why not? No, and I like that answer. It's a really good answer. Why not, chat? Because you get to see more of the Elden Ring. You get to see more bosses get destroyed by
We skipped setup. You know, got to replace it with something.
That's true. We did skip setup.
I do have a legit reason, though, because Radon drops a ton of runes.
Yeah, he does.
And it does make some parts of the later part of the run significantly easier. Just those extra bit of runes from that fight.
So here's another thing that I just read and totally didn't forget. If we do make it to 10,532, we'd actually beat out the first ever Games Done Quick event all the way back from 2010. So let's definitely do that.
We are close, guys. We are close. I think it's looking like we're less than, what is that? Math, carry the 3. That's $82 away from beating GDQ's first ever event total, you guys. That is absurd if we could do that. Let's get it.
The Doc just grabbed Rajir's rapier and is selling items at Hugh in order to get extra runes. I don't know if we actually mentioned this on stream, but Doc is running on an older patch.
Oh.
Doc has down patched to 1.10.
And why is that?
It's because Rajir's rapier got nerfed after the DLC got released. So it messed up a bunch of scripts. And in order to, keep things clean, we, down patch to 1.10, where everything is figured out.
It makes sense. Redmane Castle. It is a festival time. We get a round of. Can we get a round of champions in the chat room when the time comes?
Ow. Ow. Oh, wait, actually.
I was wondering if he would catch it. I was going to remind him if he didn't catch it.
Oh.
I got it.
And anyone in chat know what he forgot?
There we go. So he had not put the Great Ruin on.
I was like, why is my health so low?
To be fair, it is 5 levels that's important, but probably still could have done Radon. However, important to keep things consistent. You should do the things that you did before.
And we hit it.
Oh,
$10,575 to the American Heart Association. Absolutely incredible. Incredible.
Let's go, fart sounds.
Flatulence incoming.
Flatulence incoming.
So like I made a bit of a joke earlier, but like That palindrome of 11111 is actually looking kind of obtainable, Chad.
I think we can do it. I really think we can end it with 1111.
1111.
Just to get through some of these donations here, we got a $45 donation from Blue Corjo. Thank you very much. We got a $50 donation from Valra. Thank you very much. We got a $25 donation from Paper Cola Kath and a $100 donation from Dish Honest Stabe. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Incredible.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Let's try to get to that. I think we can get to all ones.
I think we can. We're done.
Yeah, we can get to oops all ones.
Oops all ones %, chat. Come on.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that was possible. We're just doing it. So I'm assuming, I'm going out on a limb here, making a bold assumption. I'm assuming that we're looking for the cross arm opener. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So very standard. Radon has 2 big openers that he will do. And one of them you kind of just roll back and kind of try to bait out the other one.
Yeah. You just hope the other one happens.
Yeah, you just kind of wait around.
So this is the shamisen taiko drum combo.
Was that 2 on tenor, or was it just 1?
It was Margit and Godric on the tenor saxophone.
Margaret was so.
Yep.
Right.
And now we're on the shamisen taiko drum combo. So there you go.
Got it.
A little Sekiro style here.
Speaking of opener, Doc has to deal with the arrow at the beginning. Radon always starts with arrows and shooting at you, so Doc will take this teleporter, immediately turn around, and I believe he rolls the arrow. There are a couple other ways to deal with it.
I'm an arrow roller myself, personally.
I also roll.
You can horse, but I'm playing the game. I can roll.
I prefer that as well. So this is what...
Yeah, go on. You do it.
Yeah, so Sweat was referencing this cross arm attack. Basically, Radon has this very long combo where he will cross his arms and then do a handful of swipes. There it is. This allows you, when you get right up to him, to do a bunch of charge R2s. And ideally, it would set you up for this next scripted move that Radon does at about like 70% HP.
Make sure to roll in front of him there to continue the combo that Radon does. Otherwise, he might end it early and then roll back and then punish. And that was just clean. And that is why...
Clean 1 cycle.
Elden Ring on a sax is fun.
Yeah.
Right there.
This is why we can.
Who remembers spending hours on their first playthrough right here on this boss and then just sees this guy
Radon
with his...
was one of 2 bosses where I sat there for like 7 hours.
I was here and I had the first one. Yeah,
I had to put the controller down and go to sleep and then try the next day. It was one of only 2 bosses that I had to do for.
I'm pretty sure my first playthrough of this game, seeing the attack from the sky kill me for the first time, I never laughed out loud so hard. Like I
it is a pretty funny moment.
The funniest thing I've ever seen in a game. I remember that. I'll always remember that. We're up to 61 strength already. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So we've passed the first really big level cap, like soft cap in strength. Doc, I believe, will just pump it all the way up to 99 because
why not?
Close.
Yeah.
I'll be taking strength. I'll be taking strength to 79 because once all of my buffs and talismans and runes and stuff will effectively make it 99 for fights.
Yeah, so it's an artificial 99, so to speak, because he's using Radagon's Sword Seal, which adds 5 strength. He has Godric's Great Rune, which gives another 5 strength, and then in his physic, he's using Strength Tier, so that's plus 10. So effectively, he will have 99 strength.
Yeah. Have you ever beaten Millennia on the saxophone?
Hitless.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Doc has done all Great Runes hitless on the saxophone.
My no. Is there any? So wait, are you doing that for chat? Are you doing Millennia today?
I wasn't planning on it, but
Oh, what if chat got to 11111? Would you fight Millennia until they literally give you the cane off the show?
Man, I haven't practiced that in a while, but I mean,
would that be? Was that something?
Right?
I don't know. I'm not allowed to even do that. I'm wondering, is that something that could happen? Maybe, Jyggy? I'm not sure. Maybe. Would that be some? Is that something we could do?
I think if we have the time, I don't think anyone's gonna complain.
I don't know. We could try that. That could be fun. You know, there's still a lot of this run left. You know, the 1111 train is coming. Like it could be a thing. I'm just saying, chat.
We do have the 1111
the
train
Millennia saxophone kill.
$1.
Could be big.
Funny enough,
so you're about. Oh yeah, go on.
My tracker is actually, it might actually be broken with all the ones that are coming in.
Yeah, you're breaking it. Stop.
I think I can fix it, but let me just read a few of these just to say thank you so much for the one, all these ones. I'm just gonna read through your name real quick. It's we got Brett, we got Cypher, we got Fine Cup of Tea, we got Lightstream, we got Maggie, Elsran, Paper, and a bunch more. So thank you very much for your $1 donation.
Oh my goodness, that damage. Are you kidding? And then this is Stagger. And then this is TT.
Death. Yep. So a lot of people for Hitless will kill DTS early in the run for the runes, but Doc didn't have to do that. So he leaves it for later and you get this script as a result.
Wow. Okay. Was that 2? Is the next one the flatulence, I think? Or was that only 1?
Oh, I forgot to actually set up the Shamisen Taiko drum, but it's such a short fight that I feel like that would have been kind of a I don't know. We can do Shamisen Taiko for Golden Godfrey in just a second.
Sounds good. Chat, this $1 train is cooking. Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. We can do the 1111. You guys literally broke the chat with all the donations. I can't believe you guys did this.
Y'all are hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
When's the $100 train?
That's
saying.
I've been waiting for it.
A $100 train. Okay.
No, thank you all so much for your donation to the American Heart Association. We have a couple $5 ones here. We got Yunbo Beat, we got Cool Night, and we got Super Soup 2. I got a lot of 2s here. We had Jelly before, and now we have Super Soup 2. What happened to the first versions? What's going on?
I don't think you're supposed to ask.
We never got the lore on Jelly.
Yeah, we never did get the lore on Jelly.
Heading into Lendell here, though, there's a lot of nice rune pickups along the way. Not that Doctor needs them that much, but you know.
I don't think Doc will pick up several of them. So he just picked up one of them behind the big Dr. Decomposing, or Dr. Doot PhD, my bad. That was a slip. And then I believe he's going to go for 2 more by this Crucible night.
You're going to see the power of Kukri again.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a $111 donation from Iscarl Pust. Thank you so much.
Oh man, Iscarl, thank you.
Incredible.
The 111s are strong.
Yeah, we're trying to get to $11,111.11.
It's gonna happen. It's literally gonna happen. This chat, dude.
Yeah. Oops, all ones is a dream.
Oops, all ones.
So he's grabbing this lift for after Morgoth. This is how he's going to come back and take the door to Mountaintop of the Giants.
Which, okay, here, hot take, hear me out, all right? I'm gonna hit you with like my biggest, they should have had this in Elden Ring, all right?
Okay.
Why is there not, like, not right at the start, okay, like when you get into the mountaintops, it doesn't have to be right at the start of the mountaintops. It can be a little in, but why is there not a teleporter that skips it?
I 100% agree.
There's a teleporter for every area.
It is such a long section.
It's so, I don't like it. There needs to be a teleporter there. Maybe not right at the beginning.
It's kind of like with the whole collecting the maps thing. It's like the first time or first handful of times that you do it, it's fun, it's enjoyable. but it gets tedious.
It does really fit really quick.
So here we go. We're going to drop down onto some rooftops in order to skip going down the main street. But this is actually a kind of scary section. It doesn't look like it right now, but there are a bunch of zombies, essentially, that are on the ground. So if Doc happens to fall, he might wake some of them up. But he's got it clean. This is on a saxophone, remember?
Just yeah, the movement's really good for saxophone. Like these are the exact same skips and lines that you would do in a normal run. So to be able to perform them on a saxophone this well is impressive, to say the least, guys.
Yes, very impressive.
Another rune, and then up the dragon wing. In Elden Ring, if you hold block while you jump, you can always ensure that you jump at the fullest extent. You'll never slow down. So that's why you can always see him holding block whenever he's doing his jumpies.
We have a few donations here. We have a $5 donation from Vera. Thank you very much. Then we have two $1.11 donations from Geekcan and Nostradamus. Thank you so much for that, as well as Jen coming in with $1.10. Jen.
What?
Jen.
What?
Thank you for your donation, but
That's a classic Jen's move.
That is a Jen's move.
Yeah. And then $11.11 from Blue Corgio. Thank you very much.
I've heard that name a lot. Thank you, Blue.
Yeah, Blue's great.
Tonight. I've heard that name a lot tonight.
Blue is a member of Dr. Doot, Dr. Doot's community, and very supportive.
Again, we are raising money for the American Heart Association. They are working towards health and equality by providing education and health to healthcare professionals and to the public, and as well as applying new knowledge to treat heart disease and strokes by teaching individuals prevention and focusing on health impact through the conditions in which people live, work, play, and pray, while fighting against the system and laws and customs that are perpetuating. I can read, I promise.
There you go.
Perpetuating inequalities. I promise that I can read at some point.
Sometimes. Better than me.
I can read occasionally.
I'm the worst at.
I have a minor form of dyslexia, so reading has always been hard.
No, you're good, dude. You're doing well.
I'm better off script. That's what I've been told.
There you go. Makes sense. Yeah.
The doc just bought a bunch of smithing stone 3s and 4s.
I see the star fists.
Yep,
why are there star fists in my inventory? What is this? I thought we were Serpent Hunter enjoyers. What happened?
We were Serpent Hunter enjoyers.
Okay, so what are the star fists? We have to explain to the good people what is star fists.
So star fists are better versions of a weapon that you would normally see in any percent. It's kind of the meta weapon, the Iron Ball. So these are effectively the same weapon, but they deal bleed, which is a very strong status effect in Elden Ring.
Very, very strong.
So these are just objectively better. And Doc has decided to use it for the second half of the run. So he's upgraded to a +12 and is going to go fight Golden Godfrey.
I'm interested to see his strat. I have a guess of what I think he's going to do, and I'm interested to see if I'm right. I'm not going to say it out loud though. I'm just going to see. I just want to see. I'm interested. Usually a very scary running section for Hitless right here, but with Assassin's Gambit plus nighttime. I mean, I don't even think it needs to be nighttime if you have Assassin's Gambit. Yeah,
with Gambit, you just run straight through.
You just go and nothing sees you. It's so strong, you guys. Like even casually, like even if you're not doing challenge runs, pick up Assassin's Gambit. It costs nothing. Like it's so usable. It's so usable
for the utility that you get out of it. It is, yeah. It's 6,500 runes, and it is worth every penny.
Yeah. Look at this.
The Golden Godfrey with Starfist is a pretty consistent fight in terms of the damage you deal and whatnot. There is no script. You just have to straight up fight him. However, it is not Golden Godfrey himself that gives issues necessarily. It is often the frame drops that happen in the arena. So you might see a hit.
So are we on Brian TTS now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian TTS.
Wow. Crab. 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 Crab.
Setting up, again, red feathered branch sword for 20% more damage overall.
Slice of pizza.
At low HP.
Wow. Crab. Slice of pizza. Wow. 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 Crab. Wow. Wow. Wow.
So based on what you were just saying, Grand, maybe he's not going to do the strat that I had anticipated. I'm interested.
Maybe not, because I think I know what you're thinking, and I don't.
Now
think
I want to know what you think I'm thinking. That he's thinking. That now I need to know. Okay, so he is not doing what I thought he might.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Did you think I was? Were we talking about like a ranged?
Yeah, like a bait.
Thing? Yep, the bait. Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to do. But this is just way cooler on his. Oh, this is like way cooler to fight him straight up like this anyway.
It is very cool.
That's ridiculous.
That's unfortunate.
You got this. That's all good.
Yeah.
It's all
It is
good.
pretty cool though.
Like I said, it happens.
Spike hands is very cool.
This is the most broken weapon in Elden Ring.
It's still, even with the DLC out, is still the strongest weapon.
I
in the
think
game.
every day somebody comes to me and says a different weapon is the most broken weapon in Elden Ring.
It is actually true when it's about Starfist.
Yeah, now you have us to tell everyone else that they're wrong and that you can trust us, because now you just trust us when you say.
I mean, I'm happy that the spike hands are the most overpowered weapon in Elden Ring.
Crab.
Yeah. I mean, I think the reason that they're so strong is because of the animation of how long the charged R2 is, how short it is, how much damage it does flat out, and how much
and the poise.
The poise is the biggest thing because of how short the fully charged R2 is. I think if you look at the math, I saw a video on it. I think the math is like FromSoft like assigns each weapon a number, and that number dictates a string of other numbers and gives you a damage value. But this one's got the wrong number or something, and that's why it's so strong. That's what I heard.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like a math video I saw. It made sense.
To be fair, with this weapon, it does have caveats, right? So it's two different fists. You have to hit with both of them to really get everything out of it, and its range is literally in front of you. So I do think it has its, detriments or whatnot, but they are very strong.
Ooh, the jumps on a saxophone are so cool. Look at that recovery time. That is just such a fast recovery time after the charged R2.
Yeah. Especially when you roll cancel out of it.
Good stamina there. Easy
yeah, he didn't greed. Was watching the stamina, recovered.
Very well done. Very well done. Getting the talisman pouch. And that's the third. No, that's the fourth. He got the one.
It's the fourth one. Yeah,
that's the fourth one. That's funny. In this runs, what does he use a fourth?
He does use 4.
Okay, which ones?
I believe he's using red feather branch sword.
Blue Dancer's on there. I see.
Blue Dancer.
Right. Blue Dancer. Okay. So Blue Dancer's an interesting one. He probably wasn't getting too much value out of it at the start. It's based, I'm pretty sure, on how much equipment you're carrying, right? Is that what it's based on? Yeah. So the heavier your character, the less damage you do. Or I guess the better way to say that would be the lighter your character, the more damage you do. Yes. So since he was wielding a kind of a bigger weapon, I don't know if he was getting a lot of extra damage, maybe?
It's still decent. It's still good to use, but it's even better for Starfist.
For Starfists now, because these things weigh basically next to nothing. he's going to get even more value out of that talisman. Also, I don't know if what caused it, but sometimes running behind that little thing, she saw me before. I don't know why, so I'm always scared. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Always scared.
I've had it once where I think she wouldn't get up. And it was because I had it at nighttime, not day, so she didn't see me. And then I tried to like force it, and she saw me afterward.
Well, way back in the day, before that was even known, we just used to hide behind the Grace statue and wait for the de-aggro for like 3 minutes or whatever it was.
I'm sorry to interrupt here, but we did it. 1-1-1-1-1.
No, we didn't. There's no
1-1.
shot. There's actually no way.
Oops, all
Chat, you're
ones.
incredible.
$370 donation from Darth Tuttle. Thank you so much. We officially
You
did
menace. You're a legend, man. Thank you so much, Darth.
Absolutely
Darth's the
incredible.
homie. Super nice of you, dude. I appreciate that, Darth. We all do. Everyone does. Thank you so much.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
That's incredible. I got oops all ones, dude. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The next milestone, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chat. Let's hit it. We're getting this silly hours now, chat. We're on our silly hours.
I don't know what a funnier number is, though.
I can't.
Especially because tomorrow they're gonna start like the replay, the relay race and all that.
Wow,
and
wow.
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Crap.
I guess I think
got
the
here.
next number would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Crap.
That was
And that's Morgoth.
one of the hardest bosses in the game. GG.
Bye, Margaret.
Unironically, is one of the hardest bosses in the
Yes,
game.
but-
if you're not using Margaret Shackle,
And Starfists.
yeah,
I wanna apologize to one person and one person only, and that is Recycle.
don't
Hitless.
apologize to him.
I'm sorry, Recycle.
He's so sad right now.
He understands. You're on a saxophone.
Wow. Crap.
I didn't mean to talk to him. No.
Oh,
That's bad luck, right? Like that's
Time
like
loss.
Yeah.
that's the heebie-jeebies. You don't want to talk to
it's time loss, and yeah, everybody considers it a curse.
That's the curse.
Old friend.
That makes
allow me
sense.
A moment to converse with your uninvented thorn, a husk yearning.
So now talking to Melina. What's her name?
Melina?
Melina, something like that. She's giving us the item, the roll medallion that unlocks the next area of Elden Ring, which is the mountaintops where Fire Giant lives. But it looks like we're gonna go
Interesting.
do
I thought you were-
something.
Opportunity.
I thought you were gonna say which.
St. Trina Lilies.
What? Oh, St. Trina Lily's got it. Makes sense. What were you
Gotcha.
gonna say, Jake?
Viswa, I just thought you were gonna say which is the game that we are playing right now. We're getting the thing that unlocks the next area. That this is Elden Ring, the game we're playing right now.
The game we're playing
I already
right
got it from
now.
you. Haha, never mind.
Do you need more?
Did you grab the 3 next to Prawn Shack?
Yes.
Did you get the ones next to Merchant after the bridge past Alexander?
Maybe, but we'll roll with it. It's fine.
Okay. I know more if you need more.
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
You always have a few lying around for safeties for situations like this, so.
Yeah, like if there's like you could even go to the swamp and the tree where the crab is.
I
That's-
have grabbed all
yeah.
of those already.
Oh, that's like Jackpot
Wow.
City. Well, I mean, there's always some Trina Lilies somewhere, guys. We'll be fine. They just get more and more scarce. That's all. But now back in Lendell, heading up to the mountaintops, guys. Fire Giant, big torrent section.
Yeah, the longest torrent section that we're gonna see.
Yeah, a lot of Peepo torrent,
A lot of horsing around.
horsing around, a lot of running. Well, that's okay. We got each other, chat. We're gonna get through it. It's gonna be fun. A little bit of horsing around.
Gambit is also very helpful for this section.
It really is. This is actually probably without Gambit I think there's a line you can take without Gambit to the left and not aggro anything. I could be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've ran no Gambit.
I think there is an enemy that you would have to deal with like a Kukri or something, but yeah, I believe you're correct.
Okay. But if you don't have Gambit at this part, guys, you can pretty much get through most of the game pretty safe, but these guys will chase you on this elevator, and it's rough without Gambit. Like, you'll eventually get hit pulling this lever. Coming off of this lever, sometimes enemies can be coming behind you, and they'll catch you right as that lever pull animation. It's happened to me.
They don't always follow you all the way. Sometimes they stop outside of it. Sometimes it's only one. Sometimes it's three. So if you just YOLO run it, you might not get hit the first handful of times, but it will happen eventually.
It will 100% happen. A little bit of a straight shot here. A couple enemies. I'm not sure what the strat's going to be. I see Gambit.
Gambit.
Gambit go sleep pot maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Ooh, they didn't sleep, though.
Interesting. That looked good.
Maybe thrown a little too far.
That's fine.
Yeah, they don't have ridiculously high sleep resist, so.
Wow, what did this guy do to deserve this fate? Dang.
I believe that guy has shot Doc in the back.
Oh, he had it coming.
A long time ago.
Fair enough. I get it. I understand. Oh, that's an interesting hitbox right there. That's fun.
Gambit is still up, so you can just run past this horse guy. Which is safe to run even if you don't have Gambit, but it makes it so he doesn't aggro to you. You have full stamina this whole time.
Now for a pretty lengthy running section, it's going to be a lot of this. So this is actually like for people who may be tuning in just a minute ago or like haven't been here since the very beginning. On the Aerophone, on the back of the Aerophone, there is a mod wheel / pitch bend wheel that I've kind of worked into a 8 directional analog stick, even though it's not analog. And that's how I'm moving around in the game. Everything else, though, including the camera, is controlled one dude at a time. Like that.
You can see that Doctor just opened his map really quick there, and that was not a mistake. That was to check the time of day, I'm assuming, to make sure it's not night, because there is
I would assume as well.
There is a boss that spawns here at night, so we want to make sure it's not nighttime so that we don't see the night cavalry.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to tell with all the fog.
How many runs have you lost to that? Ever?
Ooh.
I've lost
Me?
one. Just running into him like not paying attention, and it's just like it was.
I don't think I ever lost one, but I definitely have accidentally forgotten and just kind of lucked out by not getting hit.
I think I've lost one to anything at this point.
If you are just joining us here, this is Games Done Hitless. This is our final run of the night, but we have a whole third day tomorrow. A whole third day. We raise money for the American Heart Association. They help educate the world on how better to take care of their bodies and the dangers of vaping. So get your donations in.
I got to go up on the left-hand side here to avoid a scary gargoyle that's going to shoot or attempt to shoot Doctor in the back here.
Mm-hmm. And there is a certain individual within the Elden Ring community who always says that you should run up the right-hand side and never look back. However,
That's
that's not a thing. You should not do that.
You should not do that.
Which is actually one of the scariest parts for Doc, because he cannot quickly turn the camera around to see if the gargoyle shot his like scream attack at him. So just kind of gotta listen out and hope for the best.
No, we got lucky there. He played the part well. He didn't give us too bad of a RNG.
He did actually scream.
Oh, did he? I couldn't hear. Yeah, he did. Okay. You had a good line. And now it is Grace. Yeah, Grace for safety, I'm assuming. He doesn't. Oh, wait, no. That he
probably going to warp out after grabbing the next bell bearing.
That's what I was just wondering, because like we need bell bearings now. We explained what bell bearings are.
I don't believe we have.
Oh, well, I think this is the first one he's gotten.
He grabbed one in setup, I believe.
I see. Okay.
Because that's where he bought the 3s and 4s. But essentially, the bell bearing allows you to buy items from the Finger Maiden in Round Table Hold. And for Hitless, you normally grab them to buy some or regular smithing stone, 3, 4s, 5s, and 6s. So this one that he just grabbed lets him buy 5s and 6s.
He's going to need these upgrades for the late game bosses because even though he's doing a lot of damage now, he still needs to upgrade his weapon. It's still very important.
Yeah, there was one run where I forgot to upgrade my weapon for Fire Giant and went in with a plus 12. Ooh. It was not fun.
It was not good. This is by far the longest empty horseback riding section of the game. If we have any donations, I think now might just be the best time for them.
We do. We have a $15 donation from Tara It Up. Thank you very much for that donation. And again, all of your donations go to the American Heart Association. So let's try to get to that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we can do it. I mean, we've already broken the main palindrome, so I think
that is true.
I think we can get there.
Yeah, chat, get your torrent emotes out. It's time. So that guy also can shoot you in the back, right? I didn't.
He can.
I didn't hear if he shot or not.
No, he didn't. So what Doc did was, as he went by the fire monk, he attacked with an R1 to get him to turn around, and that makes it so that he doesn't ever see you. Because if you run past him, he can eventually see you, depending on when Gambit runs out and whatnot. And I have been shot in the back by that guy, even using Gambit. So take this nice line to not get hit by the golem, making sure that all of the rocks and pillars kind of block any of the arrows. And then Doc's going to grab this Grace. This is not something you might see on a standard meta any %, but I believe Doc's going to upgrade the Starfist to a plus 20, which requires grabbing some extra Smithing Stone 7s.
Every time I see this Grace, I always just think of Merchant Skip, and
yeah, of course,
it makes me smile on the inside every time.
I think you were the first person I ever saw do it, actually.
That's because it doesn't like do anything for you. It's just a little skip that you can jump up, guys, from that Grace up into the Merchant that's up there. It's really tough. It's not free by any means, unless like I guess you know the skip, but it is a tough one. It always reminds me of it every time we come through here.
I am always reminded of grabbing these Smithing Stone 7s, because these are basically the safest 7s to grab and are kind of along the normal route.
I've never seen anyone pick these up before.
Doc is the person who taught me that these were here, actually.
It makes sense. It's very easy, very safe.
Yep, you basically can just run on through. There's a bunch of demi-humans and bats, but they're all too busy fighting each other, so you can warp right out.
So are we still on Brian TTS voice for Fire Giant, or are we on button mappings? Will be
the next one. What's the next one?
Are we on Brian right now, or last one? Next is button mappings after Brian.
Button mappings, okay.
Yes. Which I think might be my personal favorite, maybe. Just because of how absurd it is.
Oh no, I think the Shamisen is probably one of my favorites.
You mean your favorite isn't the parts?
You know, surprisingly, no.
Big dragon up here.
Yeah,
this guy,
I was just about to say.
This guy like spawns weird sometimes for me. I don't know if I'm just doing something wrong, but it should be mostly fine for Doctor here if he just goes straight.
Check this out.
Oh, are we doing some shenanigans? Oh.
$50 donation from Valora Mech. Thank you very much.
Valor. Thanks, Val. Inching closer to that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you are aggroing Borealis over by this rock and then heading right. And what does this do exactly?
So essentially what you do is you spawn Borealis. Borealis spawns at a relatively random point in the lake based on where you enter. When you go by this rock, Borealis will always spawn behind it. And so what you do is
like a
you
forced
turn
spawn.
around.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Ooh, that's some enjoying me learning Elden Ring stuff. Let's go.
So we go to
And
this
there's some
first
sevens
church.
here, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, I do know these pickups. I do know these ones.
So people will use these to get like a plus 19, I think. They'll just pick up these ones.
Yeah, that's what the extra level for the route is. And then, but with the ones that Doctor picked up, he's going to go the extra level up. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, yep, to a plus 20.
Interesting.
That one that he picked up before gives him just enough to get to a plus 20.
That's pretty cool. And that's just going to make the script for Fire Giant easier.
Yes.
There's also a grave site here. Grave sites always have runes near them. I'm not sure if Doctor's going to bother. Oh, he's making a beeline for them, though, isn't he? Yep, and he's going to get them all. Gets the 10 and the 7. I think there's another one. Yeah, there's another 7.
There's another 7.
Yes.
So the dogs did not aggro to him because Doc is using Beast Repellent Torch,
True.
which essentially makes any beast type enemy not attack you as long as you don't hit them.
So what are beasts in this game? We got rats, dogs,
Snails.
snails apparently are beasts. Okay.
Not the death ones, though.
Not
Just
death
the regular
chat,
snails.
Just regular. Big
Yeah.
difference. Big difference. Is that it?
Not birds either.
Or bats?
not
bats,
birds.
Bats don't care.
Yeah.
Or bats don't care if you have a torch, which, okay. Is that it?
Pretty sure that might be it. That's the only ones that come to my mind immediately.
Really good torch, though. Even casually, guys. Beast Repellent Torch. Sold from the merchant North Dragon Barrow, right? Pretty sure?
Wait, what'd you say? My bad.
The merchant that sells the torches North Dragon Barrow.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. At the northern tip, amongst a bunch of the the big dogs in Kaled, the ones
Yeah.
that don't have red eyes. Beast Repellent Torch works on them.
Yeah, that's interesting. The non-red-eyed ones, yeah. Well, apparently chat's saying basilisks. That's interesting.
Basilisk. The bears and a lot of the normal animals, right? Goats, boars.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
they
really
all
ever think
regular
of them.
animals. Okay, neither do I. That's true, though. Okay.
They can hit you though, and bears as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
The
they'll
goats
hit
can't
you.
hit you.
I think the as far as woodland creatures and the like go, the worst is the mosquitoes. Oh, mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
So I normally do weapon-only runs and specifically melee weapons. Mm-hmm. So I can't hit mosquitoes often because of the restriction.
Yeah, right.
So certain things I just can't do, or it's very frustrating. And I've had some very interesting mosquito hits.
It's also interesting that basilisks have no attacks other than just
breath.
the breath. Yeah, it's only Dark Souls 2 where they have an actual physical attack. I think. Pretty
Interesting.
sure. Yeah, pretty sure it's just DS2. Taking a quick detour over to this Spirit Spring to grab an ancient dragon.
Regular, yeah.
Yeah, the regular one here. Oh, is this like a lineup or something? What's this?
I do believe it's a lineup just because on the Aerophone, it can be very awkward with Torrent. Any alt controller really doesn't really deal well with Torrent.
Okay.
So I believe Doc got off in order to line it up better.
Also, for Assassin's Gambit, because sometimes that bird can see you if you're not lucky.
That's okay.
That's also fair.
That's true. I do remember that happening to me now. So you can't use your seal But does that matter? Can you still cast with it?
Sure can.
You can still cast with
That's
it.
interesting.
It's actually very useful if you're using the incant Howl of Shabriri, because Howl will give you madness. But if you are using a seal that you can't wield, it will not build up as much madness.
That's interesting.
So you'll never proc the madness effect. For this, it's really just because it's an easy free pickup along the route that Doc took, I believe. Also, it weighs nothing, which is important.
That's the more important thing, is that it weighs nothing.
Yeah, that's a great point. Weighs literally weighs nothing, chat. Like actually 0 weight.
Yeah, the normal finger seal, I believe, is 1.5.
Very low, but yes, it has some weight to it. I remember Doc's wearing the feathered branch, or not feather. Well, he is wearing the feathered branch sword, but he's also wearing the blue dancer talisman, which he's getting more damage the lighter he is. So you don't want any extra weight you don't need.
Yeah, and that can make or break a script that you have set up. As you said earlier, Swed, a lot of this is damage calculation, making sure the numbers fit right, and you throw that off.
Even a little.
Really weird and bad things can happen.
Yep. And this is Fire Giant. I think Fire Giant's everyone's favorite fight.
Yeah, certainly mine.
I mean,
definitely.
It's probably chat's favorite fight, right?
I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Thoughts, Jiggy? Thoughts on Fire Giant? Are we enjoyers?
I made it to the big house on the top of the hill, and then I rage quit.
Is that like next to Snake House?
No, Snake House is from the first game.
I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
This game. I left the door. I left the big door, and then there's a giant house, and then there's a big man. I think he's a king.
Kingman.
And he beat me up. He's got a big stick.
Big stick. That's Margit. That's Margit.
We are about to go into Fire Giant, and I've switched to the button mapping sound. So as just as a little preview.
Circle, circle.
Button mapping. Okay.
R1, R1, R2, L1. Combo.
Just as an idea.
Right, circle, right. Right,
Alright.
circle.
Here we go.
Start. Start.
A little known thing about Fire Giant, you guys, is you can actually sleep pot the Fire Giant. Or just not sleep pot, but you can just proc the status sleep on Fire Giant.
Yeah, it'll stagger him. He does not go into a full sleep effect, but it is very useful. You can get a lot of damage on him while it's
And you're gonna
happening.
see that. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna dismount Torrent for iframes, as he does right there. Gets back on Torrent. He's gonna approach the foot, break the foot, and during the break animation, he's gonna throw a couple sleep pods. Or at least I thought
believe he
was.
gets the poise break first.
And then does it? Okay.
Yeah.
R2.
Might not even need it.
No, he's gonna go to phase 2 here.
Yeah.
Start. Triangle.
And then this is
So
gonna stagger.
Rajir's rapier.
Rajir's rapier is not going to do any damage, chat. It's going to cause stagger buildup. That's all it's there for.
Which is
Huge.
the thing that got nerfed once the DLC came out, and why Doc is down patched.
Oh, we missed an eye
little
shot. Big roll.
little HP.
Big
roll.
save.
Very good save.
Save. So that's off script, you guys. That was what we call clutch.
Start.
Ow.
Cross. Up. Right. Cross. Start.
But
Start.
very well handled.
Always a little scary.
And next is everybody's favorite part. Probably killed more runs than anybody wants to admit. Is the chain after Fire Giant.
I don't think I've ever actually lost one here.
I don't think I have
I don't
either.
think I have.
But it is
I have.
It's always
something.
scary.
It's always living in the back of my mind.
I'm always not reading chat on it. That's for sure. I'm always glued. Like, oh, look,
Yeah,
he's even got a setup here to get on. I like it. I have a setup to get off too. Up on this chain, I always do the exact same movement. Yeah. Lock in. Here we go. Okay,
It's off torrent. Okay,
this is
okay.
huge. This is huge. Love this. It's the best. Yes.
Let's go.
There we go. Clean.
Yes. Oh, apparently I have lost runs here before. I'm being told. Okay.
Yeah. Classic
everyone.
Iskarl.
That is
Caught.
actually extremely difficult to do on the Aerophone.
Oh, I would imagine for sure.
Surprisingly so.
There we go. Get this grace. We're gonna talk to Melina again
Gonna
in order
the-
to move.
commit a cardinal sin. And just like that, like we're in like the back half of Elden Ring. Just like that.
Yeah, there's basically one major running section. I mean, two
I have long observed.
technically, but
Are you to
we're kind of heading into the last couple of areas with a handful of bosses left.
Final area chat, final donation goal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe could happen. I don't know. Maybe.
I believe.
I mean,
I don't know. I think
it
we
could
need.
happen.
I think we need like one solid train. You know, just like the late night train or something.
The
like
late
that.
night energy train
Yeah.
to give Dr. Doot the power to go to the rest of the run hitless.
I
Ooh.
trained to Hitless.
The hype train to hitless.
Get your donations in to the American Heart Association.
Good pickups here at the start too. He got more upgrades that he doesn't need anymore, but he gets golden runes. Unless I don't think he needs them. Yeah, he's
It was a smithing stone 8, so
he
he'll
does?
use
Okay.
it later.
yeah.
He
nice.
can't use it now, but it saves him some money later on. So there's these beastmen of Fair Missoula. Doc takes the slow strat where you wait for this guy to turn around and then you gambit and you can run through here.
Save a pot. See, I pot that guy. Okay.
There's a way that you can attack
Yes.
to get him to pull aggro, and then you can run by with gambit. Doc's
This is
throwing
all
a
new stuff
kukri.
for me here. This is interesting. Okay. The kukri. Okay. I'm here. I'm with it. Okay. Usually I just wait in the corner and he just walks by me.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, he just crouched in the corner. He doesn't see you. But I mean, you know, kukris. You got him. Might as well use
Yeah.
it.
Especially at this point in the game.
That doesn't have a hitbox, by the way, even though it should, in my opinion.
I agree.
It should definitely.
It is
have a
kind of
hitbox.
nice though, because there is a smithing stone 8 right under
Yeah,
where it
that is true.
falls, but
I really like this area, but when Elden Ring came out, there was a lot of performance issues with it, I remember, on my PC, and it was kind of laggy, but I really did like this area.
this was one of my favorite areas to do casually on Hitless. It can
Yeah,
be
it's
a nightmare.
It's definitely one of the worst. I've had a lot of some of my most sad deaths in this place, for sure.
Yeah, it's always sad when you get hit here, or whether it's a boss or a running section. 'Cause it's just like you're so close to the end, no matter what run you're doing, because this is usually like even on an all remembrances run, people usually do this like mid game or late mid game. So it's just always sad to see a run die here.
Yeah, it is. And I think the number one culprit's going to be coming up after the next boss.
Yeah, bird section.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I don't actually, should we spoil it with a question? I guess I don't have to spoil it. Is he doing the thing or not? Is what I'm going to ask you. You'll know what I
I'll
mean.
say, yeah, no.
He's not doing it. That's
no.
fair. I wouldn't even do it on a normal controller, so I don't blame him even a little bit.
It's impossible on the Aerophone. I've tried.
There you go. Love that. So
there were some-
did we just switch to button mappings right now?
We'll switch to button mappings when I get
1,
into the next
2,
arena.
3, 4. Okay, so like I think we might have to. Wait, are you going to try Millennia?
I mean,
Is that
have
something
time.
you're like, you don't have? If you have time, you want to try it. Okay, so just like based on
you
the.
don't have to, like, it's not.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
there's
not
no
a
pressure at
requirement.
all.
There's
it's a
no
matter of whether or
pressure.
not my save state will work. That's the
Okay.
biggest issue.
It's I'm
is
just
not a
wondering
requirement.
because we only have what, 4 bosses? 1, 2, 3, 4 bosses, right?
5 Duo, Malekith, Gideon,
Oh,
Horalu,
Right. Okay.
and then
okay.
Radabeast.
I'm also being
so
told no to Millennia.
No to Millennia. Okay.
No to
so
Millennia.
I'm thinking for the next one, Doctor, just do button mappings for one boss. Or no, this would be the second boss anyway. It's going to work out perfectly, right? Because there'll be 4 bosses after this. I just wanted to make sure that we got the right amount of dude sounds correct. Okay. All right, Godskin Duo. Probably one of my most hated fights in the entire game. Single, one-on-one, I really like these enemies in one-to-one combat when you encounter them in Elden Ring. However, duo... Together. Oh, no.
I think this was a mistake.
I think... I really think that... they didn't need to put them together, or if they did, because I remember my first playthrough, I got here like I wasn't juiced to the 9s or anything. Like I was on like a pretty like standard playthrough with a great sword, and I remember being like, wow, this is a wall. And I just thought that if I killed them at the same time, they would just magically, the fight would be over, and then they didn't. I was so degested.
The unfortunate realization.
Yeah. But we have something that Mr. Godskin Noble and Mr. Godskin Apostle are weak to, and that is what we like to call sleep pots, or the sleep status. So we're going to throw
So we saw it earlier with Noble, where we use sleep pots to script that fight. Same thing happens here for both Apostle and Noble. Gonna buff. And I think ideally, if this goes correctly, this should be a 1 cycle.
Yes.
But there are plenty of memes that can happen.
Big. Do these guys resist strike?
I'm not sure, actually.
It's either they're weak or they resist it. It's not neutral. It's one of the two.
The only thing that I know that they are really resistant to is Holy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of their physical ones.
Oh, you mean like a 1 cycle?
Yeah, 1 cycle, 1 cycle.
Oh, you mean like a real
that was
1
perfect.
cycle. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Cool. I forgot to put on the button mapping sound, and I apologize.
That's all right.
So with Duo Dead, they give the final bell bearing to buy 7s and 8s. So Doc can now fully upgrade the Starfist to a plus 25.
And that is going to give us a lot more damage. Does that change the scaling from right now, from where the level is? What is this, level 20, 21? Does it go up anymore from when it goes to max level?
I'm not sure. I can't remember if it goes from B to A when you use heavy. I don't use these weapons a ton.
Right.
So we're going to see right now.
Well, it's already A.
Yeah, so it's already A. I think it just stays A.
Just stays A, no S. That's fine.
Even with that, the scaling it does slightly increase. So behind the scenes, the modifier for your scaling does get bigger. It just doesn't change letter.
Oh, really? I don't think I did that. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's not a ton. It's not enough to change the letter, but think of the letters more as like boxes where like the modifier sits in this range, so it's given this letter.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess apparently it doesn't go high enough to get an S scaling, but that's plenty fine. We have ridiculous amounts of damage anyway.
We do have a lot of damage.
So I'm gonna mute myself in the chat for just a second because this is the hardest running section of the game. So I'll see you guys on the other side.
You got this. 07.
Sounds like a good time to get your donations in.
Sounds like a perfect time to get the donations in. Do we have any donations?
We do. We have a $1 donation from Nostradamus. Thank you very much. $5 from Nemaini, sorry. And then we have a $5 donation from Notorious Potato.
Nice. There is a dog.
Yeah.
But, okay, we're good. Beast repellent torch is out.
Doc doing the scary jump there, but I think he does that because there are some dogs off to the side. There's another path that you can take, and even with Beast Repellent Torch, sometimes the dog will get in front of you and you fall on it and then it hits you.
Yeah.
So I think that happened to Doc once, and he just does that drop now. Should be pretty safe from here on.
And we are getting to the notorious part of Farm Azul where there is a skip called, well, I guess we just call it bird skip because it just skips a lot of these awful bird enemies. We will not see that today because it is not possible to do on the saxophone. But basically it just skips this running section. Now, this running section has a lot of birds. I'm not sure how he's going to deal with it. Is he going to kill them?
I believe he uses Gambit to run past a majority of them.
We'll see what he's going to do. Well, it does look like Gambit. So that one's going to see him, right? But it doesn't matter because it can't get down.
As long as you drop fast enough, it can't follow you all the way down.
Right.
And then the first lightning is scripted where they spawn. So as long as you make it to this rooftop before he summons another one, everything should be fine.
So that one's from the top. That one there's from the top for sure.
No,
I think it jumped down.
I think he accidentally aggroed one of the birds that was on the lower level because he took the corner too wide. So
got it.
There's a corner with like a tree or like a bush right in front of it, and you need to hug that really closely as you come around. Otherwise, that bird can see you even with Gambit on. It can help to crouch as well.
For sure. I also just want to take a quick second and just let everyone know that the Team Hitless community just reached $50,000 lifetime raised, which is just such a massive achievement for the community. You guys should all be very, very, very proud of yourselves for such a good cause as well. Just give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. If anyone has donated to such a great event, such a great cause, just thank you so much. Like, you guys made it possible. $50,000 in total for this organization. I personally am like super proud to be a part of this community.
Everybody should be proud of everything that they've donated and contributed to.
Yeah, like, you guys are the best. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
So with Gambit, you can come up and kill this first bird. If you reapply Gambit, nothing else should see you as long as you take a clean line through here. And we had already de-aggroed the dragon, so no more lightning. And it's pretty smooth sailing.
It's just awesome. Like, I can't believe how far this community has come in over the years. Because like I've been around the Hitless community for probably like 7 years now, and it's really cool to see how far it's come.
Yeah, I've only been part of Team Hitless for a little over a year now, and part of the community.
It's so cool.
The stuff that I've seen, even just in the year that I've been part of it, it's been incredible to watch how everything's just unfolded and grown.
Yeah, I've done lots of work with Team Hitless and the American Heart Association over the years as well, and just to know that we were able to do $50,000 to a charity that's this awesome is just I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I agree.
Speaking of being pretty cool, Dr. Doots through the bird section. That is pretty cool, and he is about to come up to Malekith, a personal love-hate relationship for me with Malekith.
So Malekith is my favorite boss.
Mm-hmm. I get it. You know, I get it.
I have a lot of time in fighting Malekith specifically. I have a few challenge kills that I do on him and whatnot.
Oh, so you actually like fighting him like me?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I do like NG +7 RL1 +0 type stuff
like
on Malekith.
I'm really melee, and so like I don't want to get into it too much, but the only thing with me with Malekith is like if you do those long kills or like just fight him for a long time, I'm sure you've seen it where he'll like launch onto a pillar. Yeah, his AI will just go through the pillar, and then he'll be inside the pillar attacking you, or teleport or like something will happen.
Yeah, a bunch of
It's just,
annoying memes.
I just can't stand that. Like, I get it. They were trying something new with the arena, probably with like the boss flying around, but it is frustrating always losing a run to that.
Yeah, I've had some fights that went pretty close to killing him, and then something like that happened, and it is unfortunate when it happens, but unfortunately, FromSoft may not be the best at coding certain things.
They do their best, honestly. Like
they do a good job.
Everyone does give them a hard time, but no, they're
it's impossible to find a game that doesn't have its problems.
Yeah.
So for a game this scale, I would say they did do a very good job.
Real quick reminder, for Doctor to change it.
I just changed the sound to the sound effects from the game Katamari Damacy. If you've ever played the PS2 classic, wonderful game. These are all sound effects from that game. And I'll be fighting Malekith and Gideon with these sounds. And then after that, the final two bosses, flatulence. So I'm going to go ahead and mute myself again.
Beautiful.
Because this kind of goes very quickly once I go past this spot. So I'll see you guys on the other side.
Good luck.
Incredible. And again, if you're just joining us here, this is Games Done Hitless. This is our final run of the night. We just hit $11,200.11 for the American Heart Association. Get your donations in here. Get your donations in.
So this is interesting. You have to gambit and then crouch in order for DTS to not see you. If you do one but not the other, he always sees you.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, this is another one where, frame issues can mess things up. Just, Malekith is very quick, so things can catch you if you're not expecting it.
The big thing I think for this fight with Doctor is he mentioned it earlier, is that he can't dead angle with this weapon. He has to lock on. So this weapon is notorious for not having, it's not notorious. It's just, it doesn't have a very good reach. And this guy's hitboxes can sometimes be a little mean, but
especially with this weapon.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about in phase 2. Like a whiff here on Malekith has been known to be something. Oh, he's R1ing. Nice.
Very clean.
Oh, okay. So are the R1s to avoid
that issue?
Yeah. Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, because you have enough DPS to kill him before he jumps away. So I think Doc is the first person I've seen do that, and it is because of the issues with using the saxophone as the controller.
That is very, very interesting. Like I was fully expecting a charged R2 there, and then I just saw him going with R1s into the charged R2 after the attack had finished. Makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's just so easy for the right hand to miss with the charge R2, and because exactly, yeah, and with the Aerophone not having as precise movement, it's just I think it's a lot cleaner with the R1s.
Yeah, that's a really cool strat, actually. That's like you said, that's the first time I've ever seen someone do that, but it makes a lot of sense. Especially just with this weapon, We are heading into, it's a boss, but is it a boss? I don't know. Sometimes it's a boss.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a boss today. Yeah, this is like, in my opinion, the worst boss they've ever made. But what do I know? Maybe there's people out there that love this boss, and that's okay.
All
that's
I'll say
fine.
is that, can we get some Gideonings in chat?
Do we have Gideoning? Is that an emote that GDQ has?
Just type it out in chat.
Just type the word. Yeah, just get it in, guys. Just get it in. Yeah, get it in. See, like I could do the whole, like this. These words are etched into my brain forever. I think.
Yeah. They especially get etched in your brain when you lose a run to Gideon. And then you're like, oh, I'm sitting there and I'm making sure this never happens again. So for anybody who doesn't know, Gideon is everybody's favorite NPC boss, where he spams magic at you. And some of that can cover a lot of the arena. It's very hard to dodge.
Does Doctor have a save file?
I believe so.
Okay,
I believe he does.
I hope so. Because if this, like you were, I cut you off. He was explaining, or Gran was explaining why this boss is so bad, and it's because he has so many projectiles and magic attacks. Now, what's going to happen
just
is,
for you, I'm making a save file.
Thank you for making one. Just because if somehow something goes wrong, which it probably won't, but if we have to go back into this fight a second time, there is no dialogue that lets Doctor walk up to this boss. So this dialogue is basically letting us kill Gideon for free. If you die and then re-enter the fight, this dialogue doesn't exist, and he just starts pummeling you the second he sees you. Whereas now we can set up and do this.
To stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. I commend you, but alas, I know.
Absolutely blasted.
Yeah, so like I didn't think anything that was going to go bad, but just
things can. I've seen it happen before.
It can go wrong for sure.
It has happened to me.
And if something did go wrong there, I don't know if you'd be able to finish. Like you could get lucky for sure, but he's a menace.
He is definitely a menace.
Once he starts his attacks.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody actually fight him.
So like if you do low damage runs on Elden Ring Hitless, he's pretty much an issue in every single one.
When I first started doing weapon only runs, it was recommended to me, don't ever, like, always check first if you can script Gideon
before even doing the run.
Yeah, before even trying.
Before
like,
even
make sure
thinking
you
about
can
the run.
script it.
You got to make sure he's possible, because if he's not possible, you're not just winging it and doing it. So that's why I don't like him so much. And I guess like I can't be mad at FromSoft for not making bosses around like a hitless mindset, but it is frustrating.
Yeah. For me, I think a really cool thing about Gideon is that his spells change as you go through the game and kill remembrances.
Yes,
I think that's a great idea. I just think that they made his AI way too spammy. The fact that he doesn't have FP, so he can just keep going forever and ever. I don't think it's a very good design.
Yeah, it's an actual mess of a boss. Like but then he's so squishy, so like most of the time it's fine.
All right, folks, you know what time it is?
Is it time to change to fart noises? I think it might be time to change to fart noises, chat.
I do believe it is.
I think so.
I mean, what other way to beat Elden Ring, right? With fart noises on a saxophone, hitless, on GDQ. I can't think of a better way to end it, honestly. Unless we got to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the American Heart Association chat. Ooh, little segue there. Great cutscene here as well, by the way. We're not going to see it, but love this cutscene.
So this is another one of those fights where the quick move set of the Starfish really shines.
Yes.
A lot of these jumping attacks you would not be able to do with another weapon.
Nice space, big stagger, and that's it.
Very clean.
It's my favorite boss in the game, I'm pretty sure.
That's my second favorite. So it's Malekith and then Horaloo. And most people get to skip phase 2, which can be very rough if you've ever seen an RL1 run or anything like that. Low damage Horaloo, where you actually have to fight every one of his phases, is complicated.
Final fight here for Elden Ring. Doctor, we're going to be doing Radagon Elden Beast. These guys are going to get absolutely steamrolled. Yeah.
Yeah, not a whole lot of moving parts to this fight.
That's about it. They're going to get steamrolled.
I will say just one Aerophone specific thing.
Yes.
Elden Beast is a little tricky just because of the
I was just about to say.
That's true. I can't assume everything's free with the saxophone. That's true. We got to remember that this is we're playing on a saxophone, chat. We can't forget this. Like, just by the way, you know,
by watching the gameplay, you might not think about it, but
you kind of forget, and then you're like, wait, this is all on a saxophone.
All right, back to the bar.
So specifically, the opener for Elden Beast with the fire breath is difficult for Doc to kind of run over to the side and get behind the leg so he doesn't get hit. I've seen the meme happen a handful of times.
So what's going to actually happen with the fight, chat, is he's going to walk in, and his first R2, his first charged attack, is going to deal so much damage. It's going to push a threshold that the AI has for Radagon. And what happens is the AI is going to queue up the threshold attack, that whatever his HP reaches this threshold, this attack happens kind of deal. So he's going to do a lot of damage. That threshold's going to get met. Is he even going to get it? Oh, he is. I thought he might stagger, but he does do the scripted jump attack here, and that's going to let Doctor deal the stagger and get his hits in. So that's free.
And then we rebuff with Flame and Cragblade. That sets up for Elden Beast.
Cragblade, I don't think we talked about. It just is an Ash of War that increases your damage by, help me, 10%, I think, 5%?
I believe it's 20% for damage, and then poise damage is 10%.
Poise damage is 10%. So the poise is actually really nice, the poise damage.
Yeah, the poise is arguably the more important part.
Yes. Very good stagger there. Great positioning. And Elden Beast has a huge stagger window, so this is just all day. And there it is. Take the riposte. Send it home, chat.
Incredibly well done.
GG's to Mr.
GG
Dr.
Doc.
Dude. An absolute clinic by the doctor.
All done on a saxophone.
Saxophone, Elden Ring, Hitless showcase here on GDQ tonight. I hope you guys liked that. That was amazing, Doc. That was really good.
That was incredible.
Thank you all very much. Elden Ring.
So now you're doing this on Dark Souls 3, right?
I'm working on Dark Souls 3 Hitless right now, yes.
Dark Souls 3 Hitless, by the way, like on a saxophone, is just so on another level that like I don't want to like yap too much, but like it is so much harder. I can't even begin to explain. It's but mostly just because you can't like really script anything in Dark Souls 3 like you can in this game. It's just a completely different environment. So I can't shout out Mr. Dr. Dude enough. You guys should all definitely go check this guy out if you aren't already. I don't know how you aren't after that performance, but you know. That was amazing, man.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely amazing.
And thank you, GDQ, and thank you, Team Hitless, for having me.
Of course.
This was great. This was a lot of fun. You know, like I said, well, like Swed said, I am working on Dark Souls 3 no hit at the moment. I've done 2 full playthroughs of it so far on the Aerophone. I got a PB 40. So
hey, you got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere.
Especially with that game.
Like you said, it's that game. A lot of the fights are not scripted, and it's a lot of like very tricky camera controls, and there are some running sections that are really tricky. But otherwise, you know, it's a lot of fun. It's a really good game, and so is Elden Ring. And I've been having a great time dooting along, and I'm glad that everyone got to see some of this, got to hear some of the funny sounds that the Aerophone could make, and just really happy to be here.
It's awesome. And guys, if you are still with us tonight, we will be back. Games Done Hitless, tomorrow's final day. We will be back at what is the time there? 1:15 p.m. We will be on Dark Souls 3 relay race. So that's tomorrow. So if you guys aren't aware about that, make sure you guys show up bright and early for that one tomorrow. It is going to be a great time. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for Games Done Hitless tonight, guys.
Indeed.
So I will throw it over to Mr. Jyggy.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Viswo. I appreciate you very much, V. And Dr. Dude, this was an incredible run. Thank you very much. That was it. Day 2 of Games Done Hitless. 11,211 cents.
That's wild.
Wow.
The American Heart Association.
Incredible.
honestly, actually incredible. It was
Did we actually end on 11 cents too?
Yeah, we did end
That's
on
huge.
11
Okay,
cents.
the one ones. Let's go. That's all.
It was,
That's
it
the
was
big thing.
11,211. It's great. We have a final day tomorrow. A big old day of relay race. Again, that is starting at 1:15 Eastern. But get here early because the show starts at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be an absolute amazing day. We're going to see the final of the relay race. We're going to see how many hits in the entire event. So that's going to be great. And yes, the schedule is going to be amazing. We're starting off with Dark Souls 3. Then we have another Elden Ring run. We have all Great Ruins, any % no hit. And then we got Bloodborne, and there'll be an incentive. There'll be an incentive tomorrow to unlock Sekiro. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm definitely excited about this. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you missed any of today's runs, you can watch the rerun. The rerun is happening right after this, so you'll be able to watch the rerun, and during that, you'll be able to continue to donate to the American Heart Association. Again, they're working towards health equality by providing education and health care to professionals and to the public, applying new knowledge to treat different heart disease and stroke, and teaching individuals about prevention, focusing on health impact through conditions in which people live, work, play, and pray, while fighting against system laws and custom perpetuating inequalities. They're an amazing organization, and the rerun is going to start shortly. All right, thanks again for joining us here. My name has been Jyggy, and I have attempted to read your donations this entire time.
You did great. You did fantastic.
Thank you so much, and don't go anywhere. The rerun's starting right now.